Everybody has their favorite sniper rifle in Call of Duty, even if you don't snipe a lot of the times. Call of Duty has changed the sniping mechanics and sniping power countless times throughout the franchise, but everybody has their opinions on which one is the best. Today, you get mine. What is up, everybody? Chaos here. Today, we're going to go all the way from COD 4 to Modern Warfare 2 and pick the absolute best sniper rifle in every single game. Now, keep in mind, these are my opinions, and you'll probably have plenty of disagreements with me, but let's keep it civil in the comments because I know the sniping community is very, very passionate. If you want to give me your list in the comments, that would be great. Drop a like, make sure you guys are subscribed, and we start off all the way back in COD 4 with the Barrett 50 cal. We're going to start off with potentially a controversial pick. I know, most of you probably expected to see the M40A3 here, and I get it. Smooth handling, the legacy, but if we're talking about raw stats and potential, I think the Barrett had the edge. Now, yes, it was slower. Yes, it was clunkier, but it also had a huge magazine, no fire rate cap, and still hit hard enough to consistently kill with a single bullet in most situations. COD 4 sniping was tough to get the hang of, but the speed and versatility of the M40A3 is what drew people into it. Plus, there's something cool about using a bolt-action sniper, I know. But again, if you boot up COD 4 or MWR today and you can actually get a match, I think the Barrett has more going for it. It was a lot easier to get the follow-up shots. You spent less time reloading. The sheer power behind every shot was still incredibly high, and it was more than enough to be an insta-kill as long as you were hitting above the waist. The M40A3 does have a crazy legacy, deserves all the respect in the world, but I'm going to say the Barrett was actually the better weapon. No, now that we've got the hot take out of the way, let's continue. World at War. The PTRS-41. Now, WoW had a lot of sniper rifles. In fact, I think it had the most launched sniper rifles of any COD game to date. Fact check me on that and let me know. But a lot of them functioned nearly identically to each other, so it just came down to preference. The Springfield, the CAR, the Arasaka, the Nagant, they all had identical damage stats, and they were only different from one another in the handling and the reload speed departments. But there was a fifth sniper rifle that I always gravitated to if I was gonna snipe, and it was the legendary Tank Buster. The PTRS was a heavy semi-auto sniper. It was a little tough to use, but it was virtually always a one-shot kill, and it would send the target's limb flying off into the sunset. Now, contrary to popular belief, the PTRS actually had pretty fast movement speeds and a very low idle sway, which made it actually one of the more accurate snipers in the game. The difficulty in using it mainly came from the high zoom on the scope and that hefty recoil that you had to compensate for once you got the hang of it, though, boom. It was the most consistent sniper in the game, if you ask me. Certainly the most satisfying, thanks to the giving effects. May not have been the best sniper in COD history, but it was still one of the most fun to use. Now we go to the original Modern Warfare 2. It's crazy I have to say the original Modern Warfare 2. No shocker here. I'm not going to upset anybody, I don't think. The Intervention. Completely changed first-person shooters forever. Not just Call of Duty, all FPS games. I don't think Infinity Ward had any idea what they were creating when they launched this game. It was the only bolt-action sniper in the game, and when compared to other COD snipers, it actually didn't have very impressive damage stats. If you weren't using stopping power, it was a hit marker machine to a degree. But if you were, or you just aimed high, you quickly unlocked the weapon's potential. The Intervention featured extremely fast handling, a great fire rate, a quick reload animation, and an iconic firing sound that made everything feel all the more satisfying. Now, the catharsis of the Intervention mixed with the insanity of Modern Warfare 2, it made for a moment in gaming history that will probably never be recreated. Montages, trick shots, new gameplays, all of it came from the Intervention. This gun changed the online gaming world forever, and it's earned its place in COD history and meme culture, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, just go search all the montages from Modern Warfare 2. 90% of them will be the Intervention, the other 10% will be a Barrett. Black Ops 1. The PSG 1. Now, I know, hot take, this is another one. Most of you probably expected to see the L96, but here's another curveball. Semi-auto sniper, extremely low fire rate, meaning you basically had to treat it like a bolt action, but the sheer power it carried made it one of the best in the game. The PSG-1 was a one-shot kill above the waist all the time, and actually had the highest bullet penetration in the entire game. It made it great for killing people through walls, taking them by surprise. It also looked pretty unique, and I think that's worth something, right? I mean, the L96 was the main sniper of choice. I get it. But since the PSG-1 was the final weapon you unlocked in its class, I think people forgot about it. The classified weapons were a bit of a grind to unlock, and since the L96 was unlocked early, it makes sense that a lot of Black Ops 1 players never put it down. But if you're still playing Black Ops 1 somehow, give the PSG-1 another try. I think it has a very, 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 very slight edge over the L96, despite the L96 obviously being the more iconic weapon. Now we arrive at Modern Warfare 3. The MSR. Following the insanity of Modern Warfare 2, Infinity Ward and Sledgehammer had to work together to make something just as memorable, but also a tad more balanced and scaled back. The Intervention dominated multiplayer in Modern Warfare 2, so they knew they had to make something similar for the sequel, and what they came up with, honestly, was arguably even better. I said it. The MSR was a freak of nature, and that firing sound is arguably just as recognizable as the Intervention. Just like its older brother, fast handling, quick fire rate, a rather forgiving one-shot kill range. It's still small enough to require you to be consistent, but not super small. You couldn't just spam it endlessly and kill somebody with a shot to the toe. You had to be precise. You had to aim relatively high, but the weapon was never going to fight you in that process. Smooth, quick, powerful. It absolutely lived up to the hype, and a lot of classic COD players actually preferred it to the Intervention. You heard me right. If you've preferred Modern Warfare 2 to Modern Warfare 3, you also preferred the Intervention. But if you were the opposite, you probably gave the MSR the edge. Now we arrive at Black Ops 2. Some consider this to be the best Call of Duty ever. The pre-patch DSR 50. I don't know if this is against the rules. It's my video, so yeah. It may have been nerfed into the dirt, but the reason that nerf was so controversial was because of how insanely powerful it was beforehand. Bolt-action sniper featured a 5-round mag and a powerful firing sound on launch day. Pretty fast fire rate. Each bullet had the power to instantly kill an enemy as long as you hit them above the waist. I mean, it was everywhere. Sniping community was in love with it. Unfortunately, it wasn't meant to last. Treyarch took issue with how much better the DSR was than every other sniper in the game, and they took action. In July of 2013, they severely reduced the fire rate. Now, the DSR is still a powerful weapon with super forgiving one-shot kill range, but the fire rate is painfully slow. Almost impossible to use the weapon aggressively now. Still, the original is a piece of COD history. I think most classic COD players will agree it was leagues above everything else in Black Ops 2. Now we move on to Ghosts. This is pretty easy, I think. The USR, right? Infinity Ward always has at least one quick scoping machine in their COD multiplayers, despite the painfully slow pace of Ghost. It did give us the USR. Bolt-action rifle function very similar to the Modern Warfare 3 MSR. I mean, that was probably intentional. Buttery smooth. Firing sound wasn't quite as cool or powerful, but the damage was consistent, and it could be used effectively at range or aggressively in people's faces. There weren't many bolt-action rifles in Ghost, so most snipers were using the USR regardless of how they played, but even by the standards of a different COD game, this was a good rifle. You could put it in a game like Black Ops 2 or Modern Warfare 3, and it would still be a high-tier weapon. Now we arrive at the first jetpack game. Advanced Warfare. The Moors. Very first jetpack game, and the amount of adjustment the community had to make, it was a lot. Not only did we have to figure out how to work the jetpacks and the double jumps, we also had to learn how to snipe in a game with the most vertical movement in COD history. Sniping was really tough in AW, but that's why the Moors came in clutch. Single shot sniper was almost always a one-shot kill, and the reload time wasn't slow. You weren't punished too hard for missing a single shot. Despite being insanely powerful, it was also perfectly balanced because of the movement options available in Advanced Warfare, meaning you really had to get good in order to take advantage of it, and even then, it wasn't too hard to counter somebody. Did I mention how awesome it sounded? Sledgehammer doesn't get enough credit for how great their weapon and sound design was back in Advanced Warfare. This thing sounded like an absolute monster. Black Ops 3. The Locust. Now, when the game launched, a lot of people were mad at Treyarch for removing aim assist from snipers. With the addition of wall running and the new thrust pack, sniping was harder than ever, but if you managed to put in the time and the work and figure out the new fundamentals, the Locust was there. Bolt-action rifle, super fast handling, huge default magazine. It was actually a pretty consistent one-shot kill. Normally, snipers that handle this quickly have less power behind them, but the Locust was not one of those. It rewarded you for getting good. I'm on the fence over whether removing aim assist was a good idea, but the Black Ops 3 sniping community adapted. They overcame, and the Locust is now a fan favorite gun. So I think that means everything worked out okay. Infinite Warfare. The EBR 800. Now, the sniping community rallied around Black Ops 3. The same can't be said for Infinite Warfare. You almost never saw sniper rifles in the game because absolutely nobody was sniping. The movement map design did not accommodate snipers, and the weird sniper handling didn't help either. If I had to pick a sniper that was actually worth using, it's got to be the EBR, right? That's only because of the weird gimmicks it had. Not only did the EBR have an assault rifle mode, but it also had an epic variant that basically turned it into a P06 from Black Ops 3, which made it a lot more forgiving in a game like Infinite Warfare. Sniping in the game kind of sucked, to be honest with you, but at least you could get some work done with this one, right? I guess. Is it kind of cheating? I mean, you could put it in assault rifle mode. I don't know. We're going to move on. COD World War II. The M1903. COD World War II had a slew of sniper rifles. Handful on launch day, but Sledgehammer went crazy with DLC weapons, and I think it currently has the most snipers in any game in the franchise. Fact check me on that one. That being said, the best sniper in the game has to be one of the launch options, the M1903, also known as the Springfield. Tad slower than the rest in terms of ADS speed and fire rate, but it was incredibly powerful and super accurate. One shot above the knees, dropped a player. Unlike other hard-hitting snipers, it doesn't have that many drawbacks. There's not really heavy idle sway, there wasn't really hefty recoil. I liked it. It felt good, and I'm not a sniper. It's kind of overshadowed by other rifles throughout COD World War II's life cycle, but I think it remained the most consistent and the most reliable one at your disposal. Black Ops 4. Who misses Blackout? Anyway, the Paladin. We've talked about the best snipers on this channel many times, but I think Black Ops 4 is a game where my opinions, they change. This game has a lot of perfectly viable sniper rifles, and when factoring in all aspects of the weapon, I think the Paladin had the most. Fire rate was slow, yes. Power was off the charts. Could drop enemy players with a single bullet, but with the right attachments, it could even destroy kill streaks in 1 to 2 shots. It made it a better support weapon than an LMG or a rocket launcher. It was one of the most versatile sniper rifles in COD history. Wasn't the best for aggressive play, I know, but I think it fit in Black Ops 4. You may disagree, but yeah. Modern Warfare 2019. The SPR-208, I know, this was technically a marksman rifle, but it was still a bolt action, and it was certainly one of the most popular quickscoping weapons, so my video, my rules. It was a variant of the classic R700 from COD 4, but with obviously much more faster handling and a ton of additional attachments. Aside from looking and sounding good, it had a pretty generous one-shot kill range and an abundance of attachments and ammo conversions to make it personal. If you liked aggressive sniping, you could either use this or the CAR, and ultimately, I lean towards the SPR for the spot. Since it was added to the game, I've seen it far more than its counterparts, so yeah. Black Ops Cold War. The LW3 Tundra. Now, the K31 sniper rifle is probably a better choice for Warzone. The Tundra was widely seen as the best sniper for standard multiplayer. Bolt-action rifle, have you guys noticed the trend? It's all bolt-action rifles. Look good, felt good, buttery smooth, probably the most versatile in the game. Up close and at max range, it could drop enemies with a single shot to the upper body, and the ballistics, they were pretty forgiving, so you didn't have to lead your shots too much. Plus, it came with an actual magazine instead of needing to be reloaded one bullet at a time, which decreases the downtime between fights and reduces your chances of getting caught off guard. That means something. The sniping mechanics in Cold War were patched close to a dozen times, and I'm honestly not sure if the community is happy where they ended up, but it is what it is. Most Cold War enthusiasts seem to think the LW3 was the best, and I'm going to agree with you. Call of Duty Vanguard. The Gorenko. Not gonna lie, I didn't play a lot of Vanguard. Then again, most people are probably in the same boat as me, so yeah. So what am I gonna do? I'm just gonna pick one. I'm an honorable Call of Duty channel who's doing his research, and for that reason, I'm going to put the Gorenko here. Seems to me the community wasn't super happy with the sniping in Vanguard due to the fact that most of the rifles were either really strong but super slow or super fast but really weak. The Gorenko seems to be the only one that hit the middle ground, maybe? Anti-tank rifle? Relatively low movement speeds? Wasn't it so slow it was unviable? The damage was almost consistently high, and on the larger maps it was probably the best rifle in the game, right? Vanguard seems to be a rough game for snipers. But looks like Modern Warfare 2 may be turning that around, and that entire sequence was basically me asking you a question. Is it the Gorenko? Modern Warfare 2. Now this will probably change, but here you go. The Signal 50. Little early to decide on the best sniper, but if the beta is anything to go off of, I say we go with the Signal 50 for now, and now that the game's out, I mean, this has probably already changed, so you guys can give me your opinions. Modern Warfare 2 is going to bring back the sniper rifle and marksman rifle categories in previous games, but going off the community's feedback, Signal 50? Let me know what you guys think. 50 cal anti-material rifle, features some relatively slow handling, but you can do whatever you want to in the gunsmith. Damage, ballistic, some of the best in the game, right? I mean, I'm just going to go with that for now. If that's not right, you guys can correct me and let me know. There we have it. That's the best COD sniper in every single Call of Duty. Let me know where we got it right. Let me know where we got it wrong. And I'll see you soon.